right, today is February the 4th, meeting of the Berlin Board of Health being conducted via Zoom. Anybody that wishes to speak will have that opportunity. The meeting is being recorded so that people can review it at a later date if tonight is not convenient. And this is all under the, well, almost age-old auspices of COVID directives. With that, we can open the meeting. Evening, Peg.
Hello, kids.
Hi,
So
how we doing?
what's his storage thing?
So, what I'm doing, I call it the storage tour. So, as you know, we did the assessment on all the town-owned buildings, and the battle cry that we have heard is, we need storage, but yet we don't know who the we are, and we, the board, have no idea what people need for storage. So I'm going around to each department, committee, commission, and basically asking for storage needs. Does it mean that we're going to say, oh, you need storage? Yeah, we'll give you storage. No. But at least it's going to give us an idea of, hey, out of all the people that we talk to, we have one committee that needs an extra file cabinet. So that's all I'm doing, is that I have a gigantic spreadsheet, same questions across the top, just different tabs down below. And those who respond, I talk to them. And those who don't respond, I assume that they don't care to reply. So they don't get any storage space.
All
So-
right.
This runs the gamut from filing cabinets to square footage for whatever boxes and paraphernalia and so forth. Yeah.
That's just it, because we know that some people have storage, but it's just crap. We know some people have storage where they need a flat filing cabinet because maps don't fit in it.
Right,
We have a need for, oh, you know what? We have a file cabinet, but we haven't cleaned it out in 6 years. It's like, you know what? You clean it out and then you come back and talk to me for that. So, my opening question is, beyond the Board of Health office that you have, do you have a need for any additional storage?
We actually do, but the last time we had a file cabinet down in the basement,
Yep.
and Donna and I went down looking for some files that Paul had asked about. And we went down and our file cabinet apparently had been moved, because both Donna and I knew exactly where it was.
Mhm.
And we couldn't find most of our files. So Donna and I were talking. I said, maybe we can just get some banker boxes and we store them on top of our file cabinets, because it's not just storage, but it's safe storage.
Some of what you're referring to are, I'll call him our guy Ken, who is really hands-on around the municipal building, did find some information of ours intermingled with, I believe it was Concom information in one of the file cabinets that got moved up into
218.
218, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot more exploration that can be done in those file cabinets. I guess that leads me to the question of, is there still going to be storage in the lower level where these files once were, or is that up in the air?
Paul, honestly, I don't know until we can
Okay.
get some, serious hard data of who needs what, then I can't say, is there room in another building that we're looking at? Maybe, maybe not. Or is that building so old that it needs to come down, and the $400,000 that you'd pay to refurbish it, do you go spend $50,000 and buy a trailer? You know what? I don't know, but until we can
Well,
get, until
you
we can
are,
get that information, right now it's truly fact gathering
you
of,
are on a very tough expedition. Very tough. I applaud you and wish you well. And if you need resuscitation, don't call me. But
Thank you.
it's
I appreciate that. Uh-huh.
you have a
Can't
challenge.
go.
You have a
That's right.
challenge on your hands trying to get
Well,
this type of information from all our various boards.
Well, and Paul, as I said, there have been some committees like yourself, when I've reached out and say, hey, pop me on the agenda, they're like, hey, come on, get on. No, we don't need storage. Okay, thank you. Have a lovely night. There
Yeah.
are other committees and commissions that have gone radio silent. And to me, that means that you don't have a need. So guess what? When I present this to the board and there's a bunch of blank spaces across the top on different committees, I don't chase. I will never chase. So sad, too bad you missed the boat. You
Just
know,
have the Kleenex box ready for the tears. That's all.
Yeah, I think if we get like, what am I, 4 or 5 of the bankers boxes,
okay.
we should be good. Because I know I'm running out of space. I got to change to the next fiscal year.
Yeah,
But
we,
where would those be kept, I guess is my question. Is the
on
storage
top.
down at, no, excuse me, is the storage level down below still accessible and usable, or are we
I
looking at something else, and we don't know at this point?
We're thinking about storing them in the Board of Health office. The banker's box is on top of the file cabinets on the back wall. Because I'm a little leery about going downstairs. Plus, we don't have a key to get into it, so we'd need to ask.
Yeah, accessibility is
Right.
an issue for sure. Yeah.
Right,
and
right.
we currently keep, 5 or 6 years of files
Yeah.
right now in the Board of Health office, but we're running out of room. So we would tend to
Right.
shuffle those downstairs,
Right.
and, and move everything around so we have room for the current year.
Okay.
I'm just gonna throw this out there because I have heard of bizarre things. But if we start stacking, and I'm not against it, it's practical to me, but if we start stacking banker boxes on top of file cabinets, now do we have an issue with fire?
Probably. And you also
Yeah.
have an issue, right? You probably have an issue with safety. Sue, who is not, 10 feet tall, goes to pull the box down
She's
and,
growing, she's growing.
yeah, I know. Well, it's that rack, down at the garden, it's that rack. She goes to pull a box out and it tips on her, and then she's hurt. So that's why I think we honestly need to look at what needs to be stored and legally does it need to be stored. And that's part of the problem is that people have a habit of wanting a giant kitchen drawer where you're like, oh, someday I'll need this. So you just open it up and you shut it and you never see it again. It's like, no, what legally do you have to keep? So Sue, you gave the good example, or Donna, where you have to keep 5 or 6 years of information.
Right.
And then, on the 7th year, well, that 6th year goes out, in comes the next one. So that's what we're looking for, is that specific type of information. Will it go down in the vault? I don't know. When you're down on the bottom floor and there's that little ramp, is that storage space there? Because when you start looking at, hey, I need storage, to your point, Donna, where is it going to go? Who from the Board of Health, who from insert committee needs access, to that? And is it, oh, Paul goes in, but you know what? Paul picked up this insert item here, and when he goes in to pick up a file, he's just going to drop that off in the back room, and no one will know. So
No, we
that's
don't let Paul play with the files.
all right. Well, okay, as long
It
as you
would
don't
be
let Paul
Donna.
play with the files.
Yeah,
But
oh, I'm sorry.
To the,
Go ahead.
to the
like-
best of their knowledge, I don't.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, because we've got septic loan paperwork that we have to keep.
Okay.
We're not even sure how long, because we have some active and some not active. So, I mean, we've just got oodles and oodles, and I'm actually full up in my office right now.
So would you say that it's mainly paperwork, legal paperwork that you're
Yes.
required to keep for
Right.
X amount of years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lots of paper. Yeah, because when Margaret was there, we went through and purged what we could.
Yep.
But I'm full upstairs.
Physical things that require more physical space generally are related to the transfer station.
Yep.
And we currently have okay storage down there.
Okay,
We purchased a couple containers last year, and they're kind of they can be used in a number of different ways. So,
Okay.
in terms of storage of things other than paperwork, I don't think we have much need in the municipal building.
okay. Because that was going to be my next question is, do any of the items that you have require insurance? Because once again, we have found out of, oh, there's stuff being stored at private residences. That's great. Yay. But they have to be covered under the town insurance. So where is it? What is it? And what's the value? So yes,
Yeah.
Paul, this is not going to be an easy journey, but we have to start somewhere. So,
Yeah,
you know,
no, well, God bless you.
so, stop the battle cry of we need storage. And then when I ask you, what do you need? And you can't tell me, well, thanks for playing and see you later. Okay.
Well,
Yeah, we've already talked about putting a second story on Stan's shed down there in case he wants to expand with dog biscuits and whatever.
You passed the recertification with flying colors. So
Yes, we
I
did.
think Bob needs to go down there with a little backhoe and build a bunker.
There you go. We'll dig a hole.
Yeah,
Just dig a hole.
I personally was very pleased at the third-party transfer station report from Time
Good.
and Bond. It's pretty much what I expected, but it's always nice to see it in black and white.
Okay.
I think things are going very well down there as opposed to what several people think. But
Correct. So for those who would need access to whatever insert document here, who would need access to this stuff? Is it the committee?
that begets an
whole?
interesting question because as an elected board, that changes periodically.
Yep.
Oh, sorry,
So how do we address that?
my
I'm
computer.
just
Billy
throwing the
hasn't
question
changed.
out.
Well-
I think our, whatever Donna is,
I keep freezing, so I don't know. I'm here.
the title
Oh,
has
who am I?
changed a bit.
Donna should absolutely be
Right.
on that list. Yes,
Okay.
she's our admin,
Yep.
and she's our face and voice to the public a couple days a week, or what
Okay.
would be a couple days a week. So
And
she
would
certainly
Billy
needs
need
the access.
access, Paul?
What?
Would Bill need access or Billy, would you need storage or access?
Depends on what's being stored. I need access to minutes and septic files.
Right.
Then
Yeah.
yes, he would need access.
Okay. All right. No,
Bill,
and
do
keep in
you,
mind too.
Bill, not to
ahead.
put you on not to put you on the spot, but would you say access that goes back 3 years is adequate?
Well, are we talking about the septic files in our office that go back to the 50s?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, there is that,
it-
isn't there? Yes.
Because that's
See-
the stuff that people are looking for, like Title V inspectors, and those do
Yeah,
have
and
to
that's
be
getting
maintained.
more and more demanding because things
Right.
things are changing. Yeah.
No, we're not gonna move those files, Bill.
No,
Okay.
this is just like my yearly files, like the
This is
payroll
payroll and
bills
bill schedules and
Right,
Yeah, I would need access
meeting
to that.
minutes, it's,
Right.
employee reviews, it's all of that.
Yep.
type
No,
of
I would just need, again, minutes and septic files.
Okay.
In the
Yep.
minutes, the older minutes are downstairs in that locked room. I had, I was looking for some minutes and unfortunately, they're there, but not all year. So there could be other years floating around somewhere. But, the more
Okay.
recent minutes are upstairs, but the rest are
Yeah.
downstairs.
Right.
Well, and keep in mind too, I think once we get first pass done to say, hey, we need X square feet for 85 boxes, et cetera, we can come back and
Right.
refine it. And, just because Bill and Donna need access today, 3 years from now, I won't be on the committee, but 3 years from now, somebody else will be doing this and they may come back to you and say, and Donna's like, I won the lottery, I'm out. Bill's like, I won the lottery, I'm out. And then you guys say, oh, insert these two new people.
That's only after I win the lottery.
There you go. There you go. It's an equal share of the pie. So no, that's all it was today, was just to try and get a general idea of
Right.
beyond what you have upstairs in your office, what do you guys need for additional storage and what types of additional needs? And it sounds like, as you talked about, just like the giant boxes, that you can properly label and say in here contains bloop, and you store it somewhere that is safe and that is not a fire hazard. Okay.
One of the other aspects of this, if you really drill down, is a lot of file cabinets were moved up into 218, and I would imagine there are things that could be purged out of those to create space, and that's a
Yep.
godforsaken task, and
Yep.
would probably involve multiple boards.
Oh, absolutely. And that's going to be one of the pushback things is that if somebody come, like if you guys said, we have a need for 20 more filing cabinets that contain, then my response would be, okay, before you say you need 20, have you gone through your own stuff?
Right.
And
right,
have you cleaned it
exactly.
out? Because you know what? Maybe you need two, after that. But again, it's just an opportunity to shovel in the ground. We got to start somewhere and stop this. We need storage. Well, who and what do you have and what significance is it of the town if you're just collecting crap because you like to collect crap? Sorry, no, that's not a reason that we're going to store it. So, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. Any other questions I can ask for you? I appreciate your time, and I will get off your agenda so you can do more important stuff.
Well, Peg, I think they picked the perfect person to collect this data.
Okay, I appreciate that, but you know what? When you hear not it, and it's your idea, you kind of have to be like, fine, I'll do it. And that's why I called it the storage tour.
Yeah.
What's it going to take me this month to truly work my way through every committee for 15 minutes? Are you kidding me? I can find time to do that. So I appreciate it.
We love seeing you regardless.
Yay! All right. Thank you very
All
much for
right,
your
thank you, Peg.
time. Have a lovely evening.
Thank
You
you.
take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
We don't have a lot on the agenda. We
155 Coburn Road.
I was just gonna say, I think we can just move on to that.
Yeah, that is a upgrade. So we need to schedule a variance hearing, and if we do our normal 2 meetings out, that would bring us to March 4th.
Okay,
Sounds good
That
to
work
me.
for everybody.
that works.
7:30 p.m.
Kidok.
Permits, Hunt 100 River Road.
Bump that one out. I still need to talk to the engineer.
Okay,
96.
96 Pleasant Street.
Yeah, I
And
think Keith, the
Morgan
owner,
is
is here for
here.
that.
What, Sue?
I said Keith. I'm gonna mangle his name.
I
There
think
he
it's
is.
Bolton.
Hi, Keith.
Bogram, thank you.
Yeah,
Good enough.
90 Pleasant Street.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Yep.
So we put in a permit to build basically a detached garage that will be behind our swimming pool. So there will be a small amount of living space for living, like a pool house or storage. I called Bill earlier this week and he mentioned that given the cost associated with it, there might be a need to upgrade the existing septic tank on the property. So trying to get some more information on that, see if I can either get an extension until the permit's done and the building's closed, or what would need to be done to get the permit granted.
All right, do we know what size tank is currently there?
Our record show a 48-year-old 1,000-gallon septic tank.
48-year-old, okay.
Yep. The permit says 1976.
Wow, okay.
Sounds like it's time for a replacement.
It's in good
For
shape.
your safety as well as the town's.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess I have no problem doing it. Everything's running fine. I didn't know of this bylaw or new regulation.
More of a guideline or a policy.
Yeah.
Could
Um, it doesn't
Peter, if you-
affect if I did a new tank now, in order to get this permit done, and something else fails later, the new tank would be incorporated into the new system.
Yes.
Okay. So it's something that's worth doing regardless.
well, doing that, Billy, would he need to have a 2-compartment tank or?
It
Adding a-
depends what the future use. I mean, if it's just using, for the house, it would be a single compartment. A pool house, again, you could still go single. I'd recommend a dual compartment for the small difference in cost, but that would be up to the homeowner. If it was truly going to be like an ADU, then you would absolutely need a 2-compartment tank. But that does not sound like the intention. ADU would be accessory dwelling unit, Keith. That's that new term you'll hear when people can add, no longer called in-law or accessory apartments. They're just called additional dwelling units.
And just in your thought process and planning, if that is something that's potentially on the horizon, considering the two compartment tank would be to your benefit, get it done once and for all the right way, so that there's no flashback in any way. You've covered your backside, you've protected your property, and you've protected your system.
I guess one
You-
thing in my general knowledge, I did mention to Bill, on the plans, there is a bathroom in this structure, which is not going to be done anytime soon. And the plan was to basically just put a main drain in there in the poured slab in case I wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But in my understanding, where my septic tank is located, I think it's going to be very hard for a gravity drain to go there anyways, which might lead me to a pump, which should probably lead me to a 2-compartment tank.
Right.
Basically, if you have a single compartment tank, you're restricted to a non-grinder pump. If you put in a 2-compartment tank, you can use a non-grinder or a grinder pump, which would be like those macerating toilets. So again, it gives you flexibility on the type of pump you'd use.
Okay.
And I would think from an economic standpoint, if you're going to replace a tank, protecting yourself moving into the future is not going to be a huge uptick in price to go with a 2-compartment tank, which covers you best in most directions. The biggest cost is excavating and replacing a tank. Whether it's 1 compartment or 2-compartment becomes something of a moot point.
And
That's just an opinion I'm sharing, just for your thought process.
No, I
And
agree.
it would be a
Once-
1,500, Keith, is what we
Still-
replace with.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's still 1,500.
As far as I know, right, Billy?
1,500 would be the minimum volume, whether it's a 2-compartment or a single. Yes.
The other thing, not reading into this too much, but looking at what the contractor put in for the building permit, some of my choices on materials are kind of why this is over that figure. So we had an expanded standing seam metal roof on here, which is $44,000 of the project. If I switch to a shingle roof, I could have that done for $6,500,
Yeah.
Still don't disagree with doing the tank, but I guess my plan was to really take this project slow, like kind of get it watertight and then really slowly pick away at it. So like, could I have some type of extension on the tank replacement for X couple of years, 5 years or something like that?
I don't,
We couldn't go
I don't
5
think we
years.
could. Go ahead, Sue. I'm sorry.
We could not go 5 years. Period.
No, 5 years, 5 years, everybody would lose touch with things. We could probably talk in terms of a couple of years, something like that, but an extension is definitely a possibility, sure.
And that's basically like something gets written up, permit gets granted, and my countdown starts to replace it.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, I like the extension anyways, just in the sense of finding the appropriate contractor,
Right.
figuring out the best time of year to destroy my beautiful lawn, and that type of thing, you know?
Any other questions?
How do
Bill,
I
any
go
other
about-
comments that are?
Well,
pertinent?
if you would, you're not gonna add a bedroom out there, Keith, or anything like that right now or anything?
No bedroom. It's literally just a 2-car garage with like a small kind of living area. No sink, no running water.
Yeah,
It's like a gigantic shed, give or take.
yeah. Well, I was just, usually if you don't upgrade the system, we deed restrict you for bedrooms. You know, did you know that? Or like, if you were to add a bedroom out there, it comes out of the house, you know, eventually.
Yeah.
Or an upgraded complete system. And I don't know how many bedroom the house is anyway, so.
Well, so far, that's not part of the conversation in terms of adding any bedrooms, so the deed restriction is
Yeah.
just a point of information.
I guess how would I go about asking for an extension? Would that be a separate meeting, get on the plan for it, or just?
Submitting a letter to the board relative to the project and, we get together, wouldn't be a hearing, at another meeting, just to make sure that everybody's on the same page, that the time period is, agreed upon and put in writing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like the most logical sense for me. Again, just to find the correct contractor, get the permit in line, and kind of get this project going to start with. And then we'll go from there. So I'll submit a letter to the Town Board of Health with my request for up to 2 years in return for granting the permit, and we'll go from there.
Just out of curiosity, nothing to do with any of this, but do you know how many square your roof is? I'm just curious relative to the price of the standing seam, which I think is a great roof, but boy, they don't
Yeah.
give them away.
No, they
Not
don't
anymore.
at all. I
They
forget.
last forever.
I don't have the plans in front of me, but it's not a big structure. It's a 2-car garage with a little bit on the front. So like, let's say 30 by 40, something like that.
About 4 years ago, I got an estimate from a standing seam metal roof company at the Bolton Fair, and they did it via computer and, looking down on my house, and they gave me an estimate of $85,000.
Yeah. And the nice thing is it
You got a
lasts
big-
forever, but holy.
Yeah, well,
geez.
Don't outlast
it
us.
also helps if you're about 20 years old and not my age.
Right,
Yeah, exactly.
like him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. And I will be in touch.
All right. Very good. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good night.
Good night.
Title V inspection report, 20 Sawyer Hill Road.
Yeah, that is a conditional pass. Needs a vent repaired and an alarm float replaced.
Is that
Is
the
that
house that's across from the old greenhouses?
Yes, it is. Banzel was the owner.
Yeah,
Right.
Kind of a long driveway off of Sawyer Hill. Yep.
Right.
What was the alarm again, Bill? I'm sorry.
The alarm float not working.
Alarm float.
So that has to be replaced, and the vent, the candy cane vent must have been snapped off by something, and that has to be replaced also.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, and Paul,
I don't have really anything to add to this agenda.
I
So-
have a little bit of news to share.
Please do.
Somebody in this Zoom meeting pulled papers to run for the Board of Health.
Excellent.
Not
I know
naming any names or
Yeah, and-
anything, but
and I know it's not
Does this,
Billy.
does this person walk upright?
he does.
Come on. So
All
far,
right.
I can't let you get away with that.
John, I felt like I was
Actually-
watching Hollywood Squares the way you were looking around there.
I was like, oh no, spotlight's on me.
Gosh.
I've got a couple quick things.
Sure.
My normal, I know Sue is gracious enough to email the agenda with link. Is how I got on tonight, but oftentimes I'll go to town clerk, my town government, and go that way. That's how the public would find the meeting. And I noticed that none of the Board of Health meetings are listed.
All right.
So that could be, just an issue we need to talk to whoever's responsible for my town government.
They were earlier because I pulled the data. Let me just double check.
Oh, really? Yeah, I would
Yeah.
check tonight. It had CPA at 7:30, but that was the only other meeting listed for the 4th. And then I looked at the 18th and I did not see Board of
Minutes.
Health. It was like cemetery.
Sorry, let me see.
On TV.
It's gotta be, because when I go in and I update it on my town government.
It's not there.
No, I didn't see it tonight.
No, it was there Monday because I had it printed out. Because I had to print it out and send it to Peg. So where the heck would it have gone? It's February 4th, right? We got
Yeah, that's what I
CPA.
kept checking. Yes.
Oh, unless it's after the start time.
We
Ah.
had two,
That's really weird because it was there.
Do you know if the 18th was there, or is that listed when the meeting's closer?
That may ours isn't there yet, but sometimes she just puts them on later.
Okay.
But that's strange, yeah, because I know it was there Monday because I had to go and print it. So
Well, typically I go in and try to start it up like
Yeah.
10 to 15 minutes before
Yeah.
the Zoom is posted. Maybe
Oh.
that's messing everybody up.
I was on even before you were because I didn't know if I had an update on this machine. I don't know.
What
I'll
else?
talk to Leanne
I just
Monday.
want to make sure everybody's aware of the incident at the transfer station on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes, apparently it's very dangerous to stand around and talk at the transfer station.
Well,
Yeah.
a couple
It's not
things.
all-
You really shouldn't be standing in front of the hopper or any
Right.
container chatting.
Right.
But talking to Stan, and we may start using some cones to stop people from pulling in too close to where the disposal site is.
Right.
Certainly, it was an unusual situation, but if it could happen once, I'm afraid it could happen a second time.
What happened, Paul?
Somebody,
A couple people, actually 3 people were standing chatting in front of one of the compactor hoppers, and a woman who was pulling in nose first to that compactor hit the accelerator and not the
Ooh.
brake. One guy had just stepped away. The other 2 guys got knocked down. One was Kevin Pond, who hit his head and got knocked unconscious and suffered a
Wow.
concussion. And a couple more feet, and 1 or 2 individuals could have ended up in the compactor hopper, which I
Wow.
don't even want to begin to think about.
No.
It's just dealing with the public. And Kevin was taken away in an ambulance,
he did get home.
concussion and banged up, but I guess he's going to be okay. Just fortunate that damage wasn't worse in any way.
Yeah.
Um,
Is that a
I've been-
Labrador?
I've started a conversation with a company called Black Earth relative to food waste compacting. Waiting to get some information. It's going to be something we look into, to providing our residents with an avenue to get rid of their food waste at the transfer station, where this company would come in and empty their, I'm going to call them toters, every so often. There'll be a cost. Have no idea what that is yet, but it also scores us points with the DEP, so that maybe we qualify for another grant or whatever. But the intent is to take food waste out of the waste stream, which is, It's a good approach. Just don't know what the cost is going to be. This company also provides residential pickup. So if we did enact it at the transfer station, people that didn't feel motivated to utilize the service at the transfer station could subscribe to a home pickup service for it. Again, I don't know the numbers. I'm waiting for information, and it's like pay as you throw bags. We're just looking into it. A little update on the pay as you throw. Been in contact with a company that would work with us in terms of implementing that program. And the more I got into it, the more intriguing it was, is because they would charge us nothing for all their help, marketing, and so forth. Where they make their money is they actually manufacture and sell bags. And the best part about that is they set up the accounts with the sellers of the bags, they maintain inventories, they do the accounting function, which fundamentally leaves it hands-free to the Board of Health to implement such a thing where it wouldn't increase really any of our workload. Donna in particular in the office or anybody at the transfer station. It would just happen. So definitely going to keep pursuing that and looking into it because again, looking at trying to level the playing field in terms of who pays for what down there, and it's really a usage thing. You know, a pickup truckload of bags versus a senior coming in with 2 bags, and you know, it's not particularly equitable. I mean, it's
Would it-
worked and it's worked pretty well, but it's time to look and see if we can improve things. So we
Now,
will
would that
continue
be
to do that.
getting rid of the stickers?
What, Bobby?
Paul? Would that
Say-
be getting
start-
rid of the stickers?
No, you'd
Would that
still
be-
have stickers. You'd still
You
have
still have
stickers.
stickers. Oh, I see.
You still have to gain admission to the transfer station, and the only way that's going to happen is with stickers.
Right, right. No, I was just trying to level, see what we're doing.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Yep.
That's fine.
Very good.
Okay, other than that, I have nothing else. Bill?
Just again, when I was on the Board of Health website, Tamara is still listed as public health nurse. So I'm gonna have to find out.
I'm sorry, I'm glad you brought that up because
Yeah.
she's no longer with Neshoba, correct?
Yeah, so I need to talk to Jim to see if it should be Alicia or Maureen listed. And
Yeah, if you could update us with the appropriate
Yep.
contact there.
yep, and then whoever deals with the website could update that. Yep.
Yeah, that's me.
We'll miss Tamara. She was very good.
Big time.
Always
Yeah.
very helpful in any of my communications with her,
Right.
particularly during COVID.
Yep.
And just
Anything
as a
else,
board-
Bill?
No.
Then I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I would second that.
All in favor? Sue?
Aye.
Bobby?
I.
Paul? I as well?